Okay, let me get this out of the way right now. This third season of Dexter is not bad. Let me rephrase that. This third season of Dexter is not bad. But it's not great either. After the first two seasons, this is definitely a pretty big drop-off. Now, to be fair, Season 2 was a drop-off from Season 1. But that was by like a half point, so it was a little less noticeable. This one's by a full point, and it's the thing that knocks it from great to good. It's a bummer, but that's just sometimes how it goes. But I'm still excited to talk about it, and I still want to discuss it with you guys, because this is still a good season. Let me rephrase that once again. Good season, just really, really flawed. So please don't try to go after my head in the comments section, because I am not crapping on it, I am fairly critiquing it. It's still very good, I still recommend it, but it's got some big problems. Let's talk about it. What's up, what's happening, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number station for anything and everything animation, including TV and movies, and including a serial killer of killers. I am your host, Jackson Small, your local horror nut, and welcome to my review of the third season of Showtime's Dexter. Now, if you don't remember my review of the previous two seasons, I'll sum it up for you nice and quick. Season 1 was as strong of a start as you possibly could have asked for. Season 2, a small dip backwards because it tries to do a little too much, but it's still great. This third season, another step backwards, still tries to do too much, and does not fix any of the issues from Season 2. In fact, it kind of just emphasizes them. But it still has enough to be considered a really good season that is still worth watching. So, this is not a negative review, this is still a positive review, I just have some gripes. So, without further ado or delay, let's dive in. Here is my review of Season 3 of Dexter. Dokes may be gone, and Lila may be out of his life for the time being, but it doesn't mean that things are getting any easier for Dex. Rita's now pregnant, he's finding himself adapting to all the fatherhood things, makes an unexpected friend in Miguel that complicates things further, and is still having to continue his work as both a blood spatter analyst and a killer of killers that is hiding in plain sight. You know, the Bay Harbor Butcher. Dexter Season 3, while still really good overall, is yet another step backwards for the series and not as great as either of the previous two seasons. It still has great acting, adult storytelling, Michael C. Hall continuing to kill it as Dexter Morgan, decent gore, a really good twist in the final two episodes that I did not see coming, a strong ending, continuous character development, and a great new storyline in Dexter's unexpected friendship with Miguel, which went much further than I ever expected it to. But it has got some huge flaws too. The usually strong writing was very hit or miss this time around, as some things they still did a really good job with, and other things just made no sense because the writing just couldn't explain it. The ghost dad stuff is getting a little too silly, and unfortunately this is going to be a problem that continues to plague the rest of the show to some extent, because the ghost dad stuff, it served its purpose in Season 1 and Season 2, but now it's getting to the point where it's just wasting extra 2-5 minutes of screen time. Now don't get me wrong, I really like the actor that plays Dexter's dad in this show, and I've seen him in other things as well. I'm pretty sure he was the lead police chief guy in the fourth Fast and Furious, if I remember. But this is getting to the point where it just seems like these visions with Ghost Dad are getting way too silly, and they're starting to mess with the serious tone of the show in a really bad way. Will it be better or worse throughout the show? I don't know. The kills are even more off-screen than the previous two seasons. That is another big disappointment with this season. This freaking... If the motorcycle outside can shut the hell up. The kills this time in this season are even more off-screen than usual. And And unfortunately, we also don't get that much visual gore this season either. So it kind of disappoints on both fronts in the kills and gore department. The pacing issues from Season 2 are still present and are actually worse this time because it feels like they doubled down on that issue rather than trying to fix it. Rewatchability is lower than Seasons 1 and 2 because a grand majority of the time, especially when you get to like the middle point of the season, it just gets boring and dragged out. And Deborah's role was very reduced this time around, to the point of just being another side character in the precinct. Which, considering it's Deborah friggin' Morgan that we're talking about here, that is a problem. Overall, though, this is by no means a bad season, and is still worth watching and is still good. But after the first 2 seasons were such high quality, this definitely sticks out as a noticeable downgrade. Yes, it's a temporary one since next is the masterpiece of Season 4, which we're going to talk about next. But this is still a downgrade nevertheless. And because it's a downgrade, my final verdict for Dexter Season 3, as good as it is, cannot go higher than a 7 out of 10. It just has too many problems for me to be able to even call it great. It's right there, but it just has too many flaws. And it, once again, tries to do too much at once. The kills being more off-screen than usual, that's extremely disappointing. And, just so many problems with this season that I can't call it great. It does great things, but it is not a great season. But you know what? It's a temporary downswing, because next up is the best season of the entire show, and one of the best seasons I've ever watched in television ever. Yeah, needless to say, I'm super excited to talk about the next one. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Still watch this season if you haven't, but don't be surprised if you don't want to rewatch it very often. And I'll see you guys next time for the incredible, gory, vicious, dark, brutal masterpiece that is Dexter Season 4. The Trinity Killer Cometh.
I'm excited for what comes up ahead. Hey.